Welcome to another episode of the King of the Road Show on Fox 4 KBTV. The King of the Road Show is a national award-winning program produced by Southeast Texans for Southeast Texas.
King of the Road.
Howdy, and thanks for joining me for another adventurous look at the Golden Triangle entertainment world. I'm Jim King of the Road. Can you believe that this is already our 237th episode? Coming up during the next 30 minutes, we'll air Casey Donahue's latest music video on King's Music Clip of the Week, sponsored by Starvin' Marvin's Bar and Grill in Beaumont. We'll also conclude our recent exclusive with singer-songwriter Ray Wylie Hubbard. As I mentioned last week, Hubbard grew up in Hugo, Oklahoma, and his family moved to Dallas before he was 10 years old. After graduating from Dallas's Adamson High School, Hubbard attended the University of North Texas. During his college years, he spent his summers in Red River, New Mexico, playing and writing folk music. It was in New Mexico that he wrote Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother, a tune made famous by Jerry Jeff Walker in 1973. Ride shotgun with me and hang on as we cruise back to Courville's Catering and Special Events to continue our exclusive with the legendary Ray Wylie Hubbard.
One man has the power to take you behind the scenes. Jim King of the Road.
Jim King of the Road. She writes all night, she sleeps all day. The damnedest thing I ever seen was that woman in a limousine. I let it rain, let it pour, ain't no stood to wall no more. If you got a mind, you sing. If you got a body, shake that thing. Mambo John, it's sad now that he gone on. When he beat his drum, I believed he was a prophet of the blessed leaf. I let it rain, let it pour, ain't gonna stud the wall no more. If you got a mind, do you sing? If you got a body, shake that thing. I let it rain, let it pour, ain't gonna stud the wall no more. If you got a mind, do you sing? If you got a body, shake that thing. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Appreciate you coming out on a cold night. Well, Big Rich said this is about, I don't know about my time to do this gig. And, and I don't remember how many times I've done it. But it's a very special gig to me to come down here because it's, besides, having a great sound and all that stuff and stage and nice audience and the food and everything, it's just a very special gig to me. And that's why when I come down here, I bring this guitar here with me because, like I say, being a special gig, I thought I'd bring this guitar. I don't take this guitar out a lot. I never fly it or never take it out of the house, very rarely. It was actually my grandfather's guitar, and he wasn't much of a guitar player. He got it from some guy back in the 50s who was traveling through, and he would play like Wildwood Flower on it or under the Double Eagle. But I was a little kid, and I'd see this guitar, and I'd say, Grandpa, let me play that guitar. And I'd go, no. You can't play that guitar. You can't play a man's guitar unless he gives you permission. You just can't go over and pick it up. And I said, well, Grandpa, let me play it. And I go, no, you can't play it. And I guess he was trying to teach me to respect other people's property or something, but he never would let me play it. And even after I got older, and I guess it'll be 31 years come April. I was out in I was out in L.A., out in California. My grandmother called, so you need to get up here. Granddad's not doing well. His health's failing. So I drove from L.A. back up to Paris, Texas, where they were living at the time, and it took me like 38 hours, and I got up there, and my grandmother came out and said, glad you're here. Your granddad's dying. He's been asking about you, going, where's Ray? Where's Ray? He wants to talk to you about that old guitar. And I went in there, and he was on his deathbed, and he sold it to me. Which I feel terrible. I feel terrible to this day. I feel terrible that I wrote him a hot check. We'll discuss my family more a little later than I know. So anyhow. Song about roosters. No matter what time you get home, get home 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, they don't know that. They're going to crow when the sun comes up. And you can't teach them to be a rock and roll rooster. It crows at the crack of noon. That's just the way they are. So anyhow, song about my rooster. A rooster crows at dawn. A rooster crows at dawn. He don't do nothing when the dark come on. That don't seem right. It just don't seem right. The bird ought to say something about it getting night. I ain't the criminal kind. I ain't the criminal kind, no. I just do a little pilfering from time to time. His outside muscle show. His outside muscle show. I was crawling out of when I got shot full of holes. So it was at that time. It was at that time I decided to forgo my life of crime. So I got me a guitar. Got me a guitar. I play all night for some money in the jar.
Ray Wylie Hubbard.
Yep.
Welcome back to Beaumont. Here at Courville's Big Rich's. You came back for the cooking. I know you did.
This is a wonderful, wonderful gig. It's one of my favorite gigs because you eat great, and the audience here is very appreciative, and they're very aware of music, very knowledgeable about what you do. So it's one of my favorite gigs. I'm glad to be back.
And Big Rich can cook.
He can. I think that's one of the incentives. Incentives is to come down here and play music and eat.
It's Ray Wylie Hubbard, originally from Hugo, Oklahoma.
Yep, moved down.
Southeastern Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was up there. I was born up in that area. We moved to Dallas when I was about, about 8 or 9 years old, and got in music in high school with
Michael Martin Murphy.
Michael Murphy. Well, I knew him when he just was Michael Murphy.
Okay.
Later on, he got the middle name when he became a cowboy poet.
Uh-huh.
And I went to high school with him. Got involved in folk music at that time, and been doing it ever since.
You went up to New Mexico and wrote Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother.
Well, I did that. The song that refuses to die.
1973, Jerry Jeff Walker covered that. Kind of, that is sort of your signature song, isn't it?
Well, for a long period of time, that was the only thing I was known for, which was kind of unusual. You go to a place and they say, play Redneck Mother, and I play Redneck Mother. And so here's another song I wrote, and they go, play Redneck Mother again. But now it kind of fits in the arsenal very well, because I've got some other songs that I feel are as strong, and I still pull it out and do it, and the audience seems to like it. But it's really nice to not to be known just for that song. Now I've kind of got the other songs now that, so I still do it, but I have fun with it. Because it's an A-side straight, it's all the same suit. Read a man weep his hand can lose. Somebody said that ain't good enough. Said that don't beat a Mississippi flush. Mr. Ledbetter, will you tell me again? What's a Mississippi flush? How can it beat this hand? You say they don't ask questions in the graveyard. It's a small revolver and any 5 cards. Deliver me from my sorrow and shame. Release me from my burden and pain. Beats me. Oh, blackbird, blackbird, fly away home. Say a prayer over St. John's bones. Tell the gamblers they're gonna die alone. Blackbird, blackbird, fly away home. Blackbird, blackbird, come back again. Oh, don't tell mama where I've been. I'm going to the river, I'm gonna jump in. Blackbird, blackbird, come back again.
It's the King of the Road show, and we're airing our exclusive with the legendary Ray Wylie Hubbard at Courville's Catering and Special Events in Beaumont. More later. And coming up next, it's King's Music Clip of the Week, sponsored by Starvin' Marvin's Bar and Grill in Beaumont.